Hello, everyone. Welcome to Where is the Line, where we explore the gray areas of life. My name is Jane, and I am once again with my co-host, Sabrina. Sabrina, how are you doing?
I'm good. Hi, Jane. It's great to see you. Yeah, really enjoying the summertime, boating, kickball, all the things. Kind of getting ready for another trip to Germany, my annual one, Oktoberfest. That is
Mhm.
always the goal. But yeah, just really enjoying my life right now. How about you?
I'm good. It's been a hot summer, as every summer has been, but it's been really, really good. We had a wonderful summer, and we're really looking forward to our international trip of the year. My husband and I, we usually do generally a big trip per year. So this year we've been planning our trip to China and Taiwan. So we've just really excited and kind of like looking forward to our big international trip. Um,
Nice.
Sabrina, I cannot believe it because it is literally our last episode of the season. We've like
Crazy.
started in the beginning of the year. Literally, I think we like opened the season February or something, Valentine's Day, I think. And
With a
here we
bang.
are, very much so. But yeah, we're at the end of the season, and I would love to just reflect on this season, what we loved about it, where we're going to continue to work on the next season. Maybe I'll open it up first. I think
Yep.
for me, two highlights. Um, well, this is highlights are on top of the fact that we've had incredible guests. Every single season, we have amazing guests. So I just want to give a huge shout out to our friends and family who are on this season. But two of my favorites has been one, sharing a little bit more about ourselves, you and I. That was one of the feedbacks that we got from previous seasons, is that we get this opportunity to interview our friends, but we very rarely share like our perspective and just for people to get to know us a little bit more. So we got to do that this season, and we'll do a little bit more of that later this episode as well. And the second highlight for me is honestly our like first guest episode with Paige and Ben, because that was our first time having multiple people on the podcast, which again is something that people have given us the feedback on is we would love to hear different perspectives. The more the merrier. And so that was our first time moderating multiple guests, and having some of our good friends on that episode was so much fun. We laughed so much, and I
Yeah.
continue to go back to that episode, and every time I listen to it, I just die. So, yeah, those are some of my highlights for the season. What about you?
I love it. I was actually gonna say the same in terms of the two having two guests on, which came with, just like new challenges of being able to moderate between two and having the male and the female. But yeah, on the floor laughing, like we found our chemistry over the course of the episode, which was really interesting to watch as we edited it. So love that. Yeah, so I in reflection, having sort of the fun and the lightheartedness of episodes like that, but then also diving into really interesting topics that I and you and I both, right? We weren't really familiar with, such as ayahuasca. Our jaws were
Yes.
on the floor. Natasha just shared so openly, and that was incredible. And then Kristen's with her examples of the toxicity in the workplace.
Yes.
Yeah, our guests did not hold back. So I was really, yeah, honored and just glad that they shared so that they felt safe enough, right, to share so openly with us. So
Yeah. I think coming out of every single season, that's just like my biggest takeaway is just how our friends continue to show up for us in these episodes. Like some of these topics are not easy to have a conversation around. I remember listening to Kat's episode where she talked about mental health and her outpatient experience. Like that is not easy to talk about. And it's a very vulnerable conversation where you're really putting yourself and your personal experience out there for people to potentially judge. And so it is very difficult. So we're just so grateful to continue to have friends and family who are open and honest and trusting of us to be able to tell their story. Sabrina, as we think about next season, what are some things that you're looking forward to that you want to work on?
Yeah, there's a lot. I think it's been very humbling to add a video to our podcast, right? So lots of learnings already, and I just really want to double down on improving the video quality and yeah, just getting better at that and offering even higher quality for video. And then the other thing I want to do more of is polls. I just think, again, we have such an incredible audience and we're so thankful for our listeners, but we also want to engage you all more, right? We want to hear from you. We want to see what resonates, what doesn't. And just polls are a really nice way to do that. Jane has been doing a phenomenal job of introducing some of the polls. So I think, yeah, for us moving forward, doubling down on that and just getting more engagement.
Yeah.
What about
The
you?
polls are the polls are so much fun. Like every time we put a poll out, people are responding. Okay?
Yes.
So for people who are not following us on Instagram, you're really missing out because that's where the polls are. Um and I want to give Sabrina big kudos because you've put in so much work this season. For everybody who follows us on any of the channels, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, just know that the amount of work that Sabrina has to put in to get individual clips and the YouTube and all of that out there it's a significant amount of work. So don't take that for granted because these video clips, they're fun and they're effective. They're a lot more engaging, but it does take a lot of work. And I think for me, honestly, as we go into the next season, I think what really excites me is playing devil's advocate on some of these. This is something I'm not the best at because I feel that often we surround ourselves with people with very similar background or upbringing or whether it's like political or beliefs, whatever.
Mhm.
And oftentimes we bring them onto our podcast and we're all very aligned on what the story that we're trying to share and the perspective that we're trying to share. But
Mhm.
obviously the purpose of this podcast is to explore different perspectives, different way of thinking on a particular topic. And so one of the things that I get a lot of energy from is thinking about challenging myself to think about some of these topics from a completely different perspective, even though I, as Jane, don't necessarily believe it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's been really challenging but rewarding, and I think it's something that I hope to do more of in the next season is playing that devil's advocate and challenging Sabrina, you, myself, but also our guest to be able to think about whatever topic from a different perspective. Well, we're very excited because there is a lot scheduled for next season, so you all make sure you subscribe and tune in. But enough of this love fest. Let's get into the more exciting part of this episode. So again, going back to what you all shared with us, you guys want to learn more about us. So very similar to our opening episode, we want to do a more lighthearted one for this closing as well. And you all know we're always talking about things that are in the gray, but today, Sabrina, I'm going to challenge you to pick a side. Okay, there are some really hard-hitting questions that we're going to be discussing today. So,
I'm nervous.
we're going to have a couple questions that are a little bit more serious, a couple funny ones as well, but we're going to talk through the first couple. And then we know that people love the rapid fire stuff that we had with Ben and Paige. So,
Yep,
we're going to bring in a couple rapid fire at the very end as well. So, Sabrina, are you ready?
let's do it.
All right. Okay. First question. Would you rather? I just realized all of these are would you rather questions, by the way. I didn't even realize this. But
Here we
would
go.
you rather work a 4 days a week, but longer days? Or would you rather work 6 days a week, but shorter days?
That one's pretty easy. I'm a firm proponent of the 4-day work week. I would rather have a long weekend all day, any day. So go hard and intense on 4 days. I don't care how many hours. And then having the 3-day break. That's 100% what I would lean towards.
Okay. I will say I'm also on the same side. I would prefer 4 days. I think for me, the biggest thing is like the flexibility to travel. Like as you know, and
Yeah.
my friends on the pod, you all know, I'm a big traveler. I love traveling. It is very hard to do a quick weekend trip. Like it's possible, but if you want to go anywhere further or if you want to really get to like know a place, you need more days. And so I'm a big supporter of 4 days a week. And it's kind of like
Hmm.
work hard, play hard, you know? Like let's get work done and then let's be out of here for the weekend.
Hmm.
So I would say 4 days as well. Okay, well also by the way, everybody listening, these are going to be polls. Okay, we
So yeah, think about it.
we promised polls and we're going to deliver. So start thinking about your answers. All right. Sabrina, would you rather never get angry or never be envious?
Mm. Okay, so I think a little bit of envy doesn't hurt. I
Okay.
see envy and distinction, right? Not jealousy, but envy as sort of an inspiration. Like I want to be envious of certain people and certain behaviors, certain actions to inspire myself and to keep me on my toes. So I would rather never get angry than never be
Mm,
envious. Like I think a healthy dose of envy is good. The anger to me, I have a maybe this is me being from a divorced family, but just people getting angry around me. I maybe that's why I'm not so good with conflict. It just
mm,
makes me anxious. So I'd rather not get angry. How about you?
interesting. I, you actually brought a really interesting perspective because when I first thought of envious, I thought of like jealous.
Hmm.
And like which has like a negative connotation.
Yeah.
I never really thought of it as a potentially positive thing.
I mean,
I was originally gonna say never be envious, only because I was thinking it purely from like a negative perspective of like, I feel like if you're envious of other people or if you're jealous of other people, which is how I perceived it, you would never be happy. Like you would
mm,
always feel like you're missing some, and that's like life, right? Like you're never gonna have everything. And
yeah.
so if you're constantly comparing yourself and being jealous of others, then all you're ever gonna see is what you don't have.
Hmm.
And it's hard to appreciate what you have. So my original thought was to never be envious.
Hmm.
Now it's making me question because I think envious, I could see that it like could inspire you and motivate you to like go pursue something that maybe you don't have yet. All right, question number three. Would you rather, oh, this is a morbid one. Would you rather know the date of your death or the cause of your death?
We love talking about death on this podcast, don't we?
This season in particular.
I just edited that episode, so that was fun. Yeah, death. So I knowing the date makes me incredibly anxious, and neither one of these are great, but I'd rather
Right.
know the cause because then I could, in my twisted brain, I could maybe try and circumvent the things that are that cause. Like, say, for instance, you know that you're gonna drown.
Okay.
Well, I'm never gonna go in any body of water ever again. So,
What? You
well,
you're gonna
if
live
I
in
know,
fear.
no, but I'm just not gonna like I don't want to expose myself if I know that the cause of death is that. So
Hmm.
anyway, long story short, I don't want to know the date. That's freaks the shit out of me. I'd rather know the cause, and then I
Okay.
could apply some strategy to prolong that cause as long as possible.
Okay, let's not even think about like extreme situations like drowning. Like
I guess.
even if it's like a health condition, right? Because like many people pass away because of
Yeah.
just natural like health conditions. I guess yeah, I can see your point. Like you could I don't know, be healthier, eat XYZ things to live a particular lifestyle to be able to prolong and like avoid or delay certain health conditions, right?
Hmm.
Like I guess technically that's also what a lot of people do in general is like
Yeah.
live a healthy lifestyle so that they can delay. But um okay, here's the thing, hear me out. What about if you know the date? I get it. You're anxious, but maybe maybe this is my like ideal way of thinking, but I feel like if I knew the date, I would like really go live my life. And like
Mm,
I would
mm,
go spend more time with people that matter. I would
mm.
forget work because who cares anymore, like because I'll
Yeah.
know the day. So I'll know like how much money I need to live to that date and then be
Oh.
like, whatever. And then maybe I'll just go, like enjoy my time alive. Whereas the cause of death, I feel like I would just be so nervous. Like if it's drowning, for example, I'd be
Mhm.
nervous around any body of water. I would never go to the beach, which that is my
Yeah.
heaven. So I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know if I would do
Oh,
cause,
you have a good point.
right?
Mhm. Yeah, no, and I like this notion of, and that's what they say, right? If people knew their date of death, they would start to finally live their life, which is so silly because you should live your life
Hmm.
anyways. But you're right, like that extra urgency would, yeah, interesting.
I'm so
Um,
curious how our audience is gonna respond to
yeah,
some of these.
moving on from death. Would you rather be stuck in a romantic comedy with your
Mhm.
worst enemy or in a horror movie with your best friend?
Oh, okay. I cannot be in a horror movie. Like I
Oh.
don't care who it is with. I just can't. I think I have to be in a romantic comedy with my worst enemy. But here's the question within the question is my worst enemy my love in this rom-com, right? Because those enemy to lover stories.
Oh, but who would that be for you?
My enemy. My enemy would, I suppose, be my lover in this rom-com.
Okay.
But I would say probably romantic comedy was my worst enemy.
Really? That's so
Probably.
interesting. No, I mean,
You would do horror?
absolutely, because I will do anything with my best friend. So yeah,
Even in a horror
oh,
movie?
absolutely. Yeah, like I don't care. Yeah, if you're together, you can do anything. So I would sit in a horror movie. I would sit in a Taylor Swift concert. I would
Wait,
for
girl,
people.
hold
I
on.
don't like Taylor Swift. Sorry.
Wait,
Um,
wait. We are talking, you are in the movie. You are
oh,
in the situation,
sorry.
honey.
Oh my,
You are not just watching the
oh my
movie.
God. Okay.
You are living the movie. The movie is about you.
Okay. Okay. I was like, why is she so weird about this? Now it makes sense.
That's why I asked, is my enemy my lover in this rom-com story that I'm living?
Okay. I was like, why are you? Yeah. All right. Now I'm following. Sorry. I was gonna
Okay,
say
let's rewind.
stuck in a, but you can see how I could get how one could get this twisted. You are stuck in a
Sure, blame it on the
romantic.
question.
Okay. Would you rather be stuck in a romantic? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Well,
Right?
I'm more with you. Yeah. All right. Yeah, because I could handle the enemy. I would just come up with certain techniques to
Right.
make them my friend.
My charm is gonna make my enemy fall in love with me. So that's
Yeah.
what I like to believe.
Yep. No, I'm I'm following now.
Okay, got it. So we're gonna clarify the question when we
I think we
position
have to
it.
clarify. If it's me, there's at least one other person that thinks that.
Okay,
All
but
right.
I will say to your point, if I'm just watching the movie, then yeah, I'll do the horror movie
You're
any
like,
day.
a horror movie? Yeah, why is that so bad? Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So we've
Yeah.
clarified that if we're watching, we're going horror. If we're
Yeah.
living, we're doing rom-com. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yep, I'm aligned with you.
All right, next
Okay.
one.
Well, would you rather kiss everyone you meet or never kiss anyone again?
Ugh,
This is a tough
are we talking kiss on the lips?
one. Yeah, to clarify, full on French kiss.
French. Oh my gosh, that's intimate. Oh man. I would,
Okay, let's just say kiss on the lips.
okay, a
Let's
peck.
do
Honestly, oh, okay, but lip to lip. I'm so caught
it.
up. Okay, I'm gonna say never kiss anyone again. Okay, but you know how like Europeans love to kiss on the cheek, love to kiss on.
Yeah,
But if we're
so
talking, so let's clarify. We're talking lip locking lips.
yes.
It's a romantic thing.
Which in certain countries they still do that.
Okay, but like, honey, I'm living in the US. I would listen, if I was living somewhere else, maybe. But if we're talking the context of the United States, probably never kiss anyone again. What about you?
Not even Kyle.
I mean, listen, he is the love of my life, but to kiss randos out in
Yeah.
public, think
Well, you're
about,
making
okay,
me
let me
go
paint
ahead.
a picture.
Mhm.
You wake up, okay? You walk to your local Starbucks
All
and you have
right.
to interact with the barista. Are you gonna go kiss
Oh
one of
God.
them?
Okay, now that you put it that way.
Right?
Fine. Yes, I was convinced I was because I love kissing. So for me, that would be so sad. But
I'm
now
just
that
being
you mentioned the
practical.
barista, that's what did it for me. Okay. I guess I'll never kiss again. I guess there's other modes of affection.
Right.
Yeah.
And who
Okay.
knows, maybe your partner is a words of affirmation person
Yeah, that's right.
or acts of service person. So,
True,
you know?
true. Substitute that. Yeah.
Okay, but hold on. Would you have picked kiss everyone you meet?
I would have. I'm European though, so for me,
True.
but then I didn't think about the exact sort of details of what this entails. Such
Right.
as
Such as after I painted the picture for you.
yeah. So thank you. I needed that.
All right, let me ask you another one.
Yep.
Would you rather have every meal you eat for the rest of your life be too spicy or too sweet?
And I would prefer too spicy because I love
Okay.
spicy food.
You do? You
Yeah,
would
and
pick
I gave up
spicy?
my sweet tooth. What's that?
You would pick spicy.
Yeah, I spicy. Spicy. Yeah. I mean, I can't live without pepper or anything that, yeah, I just lean towards spice in all my meals. And sweet tooth, I don't have a sweet tooth anymore. So that would deter me.
Hmm.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay. I I originally was gonna say too spicy because I feel like most meals we're eating, it's like savory food,
Right.
like most of the time.
Mhm.
But I genuinely have a different stomach for sweet things. Like I will have a full-blown meal and then have a full-blown sweet after that, dessert after that. So I'm almost like I'm open to the idea of being too sweet. The one downside that I was thinking about this question, the one downside of too spicy is I'd be sweating all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
And I don't know if other people do this, but or this is just me, but every time I eat things that are too spicy, this is me getting very vulnerable. My nose always runs.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else because I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. But okay, yeah, the nose also, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not
All
gonna go there. But my nose always runs. And I'm
running, so
like,
many things.
I can't, I can't, I
Yeah.
don't know if I can commit to that.
Would you rather have to always say everything that pops into your head or never be able to say what you feel? Ooh.
Oh, this is
Mm.
a really tough one.
I actually go back and forth on this one.
Okay, wait, you go first. You go first.
So first I was like, I I love talking about my emotions. Like it took me a while to open up through therapy and all the things. So first it was like, oh, that work all for nothing. I can never say how I feel again. But damn, there's some crazy intrusive thoughts going on in my brain. So that's scary. So maybe it's the society is better off me not sharing how I feel.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Not for you, but for myself.
Yeah.
I just feel like I I sometimes have to like use my use a lot of energy to like challenge my like immediate thought on something. Because you know,
Mhm.
like everybody's judgy, let's be honest. We're all
Yeah.
judgy people. And so
Mhm.
like I just feel like my immediate thought is usually a very judgy and
Mm,
strong opinion that then I'm like, like let me use my logical brain and think about the situation and then I'm like, oh, okay, it's not what it is.
yeah.
But I agree. Like, how do you,
The
if I
judge.
can never say how I feel, God, I would be angry. Going back to the angry and envious
That's right.
question,
All
I'd be
this resentment you have built inside of you then.
I would have a lot of resentment. But I no, I think my logical brain is saying, you, Jane, you need to not speak everything that is on your mind. I learned that we are very different people.
That's why this podcast works so well. Because if we were
Yes.
the same, that would be boring.
I'm gonna go ahead and post these on our Instagram. So
Yes. Thank
for our
you.
friends who are listening to this episode, finish the episode first. Don't leave yet. Finish the
Right.
episode and then go to our Instagram and let us know what you think because clearly some of these are at least controversial between Sabrina
Hmm.
and I.
Yeah. Can't wait to see.
Okay, so shall we do a couple rapid fire before we close
Yeah.
this episode off?
Let's do it.
All right. So I'll ask you all these questions and I would love your perspective on these. All right. These are all food related questions. Okay, so for all of our foodies out there, you need to come in and give us your opinions. The
Mhm.
first one is cereal a soup?
We're getting into this. So no, I don't
Mm,
think so. To me, soup
okay.
is like stock, like vegetable, fish,
Mm.
meat,
Hmm.
which that does not include cereal, or at least like the milk, like it's not a stock based. So
Mm. Okay. Okay, enough said. We're gonna put it on Instagram. Um, should pineapples be a pizza topping?
yep, I'm team pineapple. I know my Italian friends are rolling their eyes. It's definitely frowned upon in Italy, but I love it.
Same. I'm a big Hawaiian pizza gal, so that's a
Nice.
yes for me. Should you split apart an Oreo or bite the cookie?
Definitely for this is important to America, I noticed. Like this is a big
Right,
debate. And
right.
I can't really relate to the debate, but I like to split it apart. It's kind of fun to also make
Hmm.
sure it doesn't break. So I see it as like a fun little challenge. And then you kind of have, to me, you almost have like double the pleasure. So
Oh, because it becomes two cookies.
kind of, yeah. So like I think split.
Okay, so you're a split apart. We could very well get canceled for this particular
Probably.
this one and the pizza one. I
And
think
the
those are
pizza for
some, yeah,
sure.
hot questions. Okay, but okay, a question on top of this question. Do you dip your Oreo in milk? Because you know in the commercials they always dip the Oreo in the milk.
Yeah, I don't really have milk, just with coffee sometimes. So do you?
I don't dip my Oreos. And actually, I'm usually a bite kind of girl. The splitting is so much work. Plus, I feel like I really like the equal distribution of
Uh,
like the Oreo filling and the cookie. And you know how like when you twist it, like usually the filling falls on one side.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very rare that it's like equally
Yeah.
distributed. Should you dip your French fries in ketchup or mayo?
I'm gonna get so much heat for this, but again, European. No, I do love mayo more than ketchup. Ketchup, I used in my childhood, I think I overate. So
Mm-mm.
so in Europe we actually do both often,
Okay.
and people here probably roll their eyes, but I've had to pick now mayo for me.
Oh, okay. So you're a mayo girl.
Mhm.
I would probably go ketchup. Although I
Mhm.
recently learned, ugh, maybe I'm the only one, but I recently learned ketchup has a lot of sugar in it, which
Yep,
of
it's
course
crazy.
it like tastes
Yeah.
sweet, but so now I'm like, ugh, should I go mayo? I guess mayo is also not very healthy either, so it's like not a good option. Are we ready for the last one?
Oh yeah, I actually read about that one.
Is hot dog a sandwich?
So I've had this debate with my friends many times to the point where
Okay.
we turn to like actual research and then theories. And so I want to present the cubic theory.
Okay. I didn't know we were gonna get science
Yeah,
here.
we're really. But obviously, like cubes, right? They have four sides, like
Yeah.
one, two, three, four. And so if there's only two sides, it's called a sandwich. If
Okay.
it's like three cup, like one, two, three. Sorry for
Uh-huh.
those that aren't obviously not watching. Like you have like the right side, the left side, and then the bottom side, then it's called a taco. Therefore, hot dog, given three sides are covered, is called or is labeled a taco. And you can apply this cube theory. I'll share like the whole diagram with you, but you can really apply this to all the things, all the food items.
Really?
Mhm.
Is this universally are people aligned to the theory?
As much as TikTok allows. But yeah, I've seen it being shared.
Okay.
It's not from a scientific article or anything, but I subscribe to it. So
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like a hot dog is a taco.
yes.
All right. Well, amazing. Thank you, Sabrina, for the education, for the class, the crash course. And again, we're going to post these questions for our audience to vote on as well on Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much, Sabrina, for giving us a class on the definition of a taco.
No, thank you for coming up with these fun questions. And yeah, excited to hear and see what our listeners have to say as well, of course. As always, we want to hear from you on Instagram, but also email us, where's the lion pod@gmail.com. Thank you once again for an incredible season. We're so blessed. We can't wait to get into season 4. And yeah, subscribe, rate, and review. Again, we're really, really grateful for those reviews. And it really helps the algorithm. So thank you to those that already have and those that will. We are on Apple, Spotify, and Google, and YouTube.
Yay.
And yeah, excited for season 4. See y'all on the other side. Bye
See
bye.
you. Bye.